What's up, folks? Here we got a video by TheBroho, who is showing us what to do with double Aradel. Now, he says he's not 100% sure if the strategy is legit, if there's some optimization still that needs to be done, but I tried it and it worked for me. So let's go over this together and try and give you some pointers what we want to do. So generally speaking, we're playing the Akio versus 3 Dragonling game again. We're getting Aradel into a position so she can get to high ground next turn, which is here. This is where we want her to go, and we want her to get buffed by Yasamin because she's a ranged attacker with 3 range, which makes her actually even better than Pendar here. In case you're wondering, is that doing less damage than if we were to buff Pendar? It doesn't make a difference. You just get the Yasamin buff and it gets multiplied by 1.5 times, and that's it. Doesn't matter if the total attack of Pendar is 4,000 or 2,000 for Aradel or whatever. Okay, so here we attack. We sidestep with Akio. So far, all of this is relatively easy. Now it gets a little bit more complicated. So always move your units first before you start using effects. You can attack with Akio, but now you move Aradel. Don't pull the trigger on her effect. First, move Yasamin. That is very important. That's making a major difference. Then after you moved her, you can now use the ice power, and that will then give you options to move your other units around. This is a bit confusing. Pendar is doing more damage if he stands here, because here he's getting the full 7 fields surrounded, but you want him to move to the side, obviously, because you don't want the dragon to jump on him. And then Dorga, this is a bit of the tougher decision. You want to move Dorga out. Now this is the key moment here. We see that Aradel is getting attacked. I know this looks like, meh, I don't like this strategy. Aradel could like easily get killed. Well, she blocks. So this is not a big deal. Her passive allows her to block in 70% of the cases if she's standing on ice, which obviously is the case. She didn't block in my run. I also have a run of myself that I can share with you guys, and it worked out fine, even when she doesn't block. So I know these strategies. I mean, I've been like the biggest proponent or anti-proponent, whatever you say. The biggest critic of these strategies last season, when I was like, I'm not 100% sure this works. It worked like a charm. Okay, that's all I can say. Okay, so now we can move Pendar up here, because now he's getting again 6 fields surrounding, so that's nice. Pretty good hit. And then we want to get Aradel into this spot so she can also attack from high ground. Problem is, this Dragonling is in the way. Now you got 2 strong attackers if you have diamond rank 3 units. Obviously only try this stuff if you have diamond rank 3 units. You need Aradel at level 50, otherwise her passive is not going to do this. Like this gigantic snowstorm. So this is why this is important. In my case, Akio got buffed, and then Akio could just single-handedly take out the Dragonling. In terms of what's the better movement, it really doesn't matter. You can first attack with Akio, and then with Yasamin, this should be fine. And then Aradel gets to high ground here and can attack the dragon, and that's basically the turn. Dorga all the way on the other side seems like a bit of a random move, but that's also by design, because she can now not get attacked by the Dragonlings, and she's pretty dead. My Dragonlings did not attack my Aradel. This is a chance that if your Aradel is not super strong, that you're going to be running into problems here. Just so you know. Alright, so now we're setting up the breath with an insane amount of units, so 5 breath targets. The most important thing here is that you want Akio next to the dragon. Like, this is really important. Then you can here pull the trigger on Aradel, depending on how your units have lined up exactly. Here it makes sense, for example, to move her to the left side. This seems like it's a bit of a waste, because you're missing out on some ice tiles, but you don't need any more ice tiles than all the ice tiles surrounding Pendar. So moving her here is fine. Yeah, there's no problem with this. And then Pendar can do his thing again striking for 12k. And that's pretty much it. Here you could make the mistake of moving Akio, but me being the #1 tester in the entire guild of how to do stupid moves with Akio, I know of course that this is not a good idea, because he would be in darkness, there's no unit next to him, and that means his effect doesn't work, just so in case you didn't know. So yeah, this is the strategy. It looks a bit shady because Aradel gets attacked 3 times, but let's watch this one more time. This is now my team, and it went a little bit differently, but at the end of the day, the result is kind of the same. So we're gonna speed run through this. So same opening, obviously. Akio up here, Aradel down here, Yasamin here, Pendar here. Okay, Dorga gets pushed out. Akio gets attacked by the Dragonlings. Okay, nothing new here. Then we sidestep with Akio, take out the Dragonling. This is kind of important because this Dragonling could otherwise 1, 2, 3 spots, jump, and kill Aradel. So you need to take out this guy. This is the reason for that. Okay, now Aradel gets in position. Then Dorga actually goes in front of the dragon because you want to keep as many frogs as possible. Obviously, if the dragon... This dragon cannot crit if I remember correctly. But you need a strong Dorga to pull that off. Again, obviously. Yeah, there's only so many obviously I can throw in there. Then Pendar attacks. Here, a case could be made that it might make more sense to use the active of Pendar so Dorga gets a heal. If your Dorga is not super strong and your Pendar is, I don't know, not super strong, this might be better, but generally speaking, not the best idea. Okay, Akio gets attacked, Breath is here, and now move the units first. I thought about moving Akio to the other side here, quite honestly. I thought this could be a fine play, but opted against it. So Akio moves, takes out one guy, Aradel moves, and then don't use the effect, first move Yasamin, here you go. And now, after you've done that, you can pull the trigger on Aradel. And after you've pulled the trigger on Aradel, you can move Pendar in the middle. Then you can move Dorga out, just one spot. Don't move her here, because otherwise this Dragonling 1, 2, 3 jumps and kills Dorga. So just move her one spot to the side, and that's the turn. Dragon jumps to the left, gets attacked. And then my Aradel gets attacked, doesn't block. So if you can see here very clearly, Diamond Rank 3 unit, doesn't really matter. Gets one hit, she's like, okay, whatever. Then Pendar goes into position, can get a hit in. Boom, 12k. And then my Akio, like I said, got buffed, and that meant that I didn't have to sidestep or anything. I could just take out the Dragonling. So Akio just boom, dead. And then after that, you move Aradel to the top. And I like my play here. I'm not saying this is always the best play, but I didn't use the effect of Yasamin on the turn before. So my Aradel is now at full health again. This will not always be working out for you. This depends a lot on how high your Akio is in terms of health. Because if he doesn't get the Yasamin buff, like in my case, you might have problems taking out the Dragonling with Akio on its own. And then you might have to attack with Yasamin. Which would mean that next turn you have to move Yasamin to buff Aradel, which is not the end of the world. Okay, so this is the most important thing, so let's watch this. This is the Dragonlings jumping up and down. They are focusing on frogs. So if you don't get as many frog warriors or tadpoles at the very beginning, which means more frog warriors, more frogs, it's not the end of the world. Okay, now we need to set up for the breath. I'm trying to get rid of this guy because he's just super in my way. This is a spot that you can move a unit to. Yeah, it is. You need to get Akio to the bottom, otherwise Akio would be your best attacker here. So my logic is I want to take this guy out by any means necessary, by all means necessary. So I want to use Dorga to get rid of this guy. I get lucky with a crit hit. This, if this hadn't worked out, I would have used Yasamin to kill it, definitely. Then the question is, do we get the dragon to stay in place? And the answer is no. Yeah, the answer is no, because we need a unit here. Yeah, I think I would have had to sacrifice an attack with Aradel, which sounds like a really bad idea. I guess the best move then is to move Aradel 2 to the side. Oh, this is also a terrible move. Yeah. I have to say, I don't think there's a great solution here. Unless I'm missing something. Because if Dorga doesn't crit and we need to use Yasamin to kill this guy, we do not get a unit here. If we don't have a unit here, this nest on the left and this nest on the bottom, they are tied. And that would be a really big problem for us. Yeah. I don't see how I could have salvaged this run. I think... No, I don't see it. I mean, you can sacrifice attack with Pendar, which is a terrible idea, but yeah. I think I was really lucky. I'm 100% sure I was really lucky with the Dorga hit and crit. Otherwise, I don't think this run would have turned out well. So this is definitely something to be concerned about, something to know. Then we're moving our units. So here goes Yasamin, here goes Aradel, then we go for the active. This takes out the Dragonling, and then we're in a perfect position to finish this run strongly. So this time Akio Pendar can attack from the best spot. And then, yeah. Here, this is important, do not move Akio. I was tempted for a second, but if I move Akio to the side, he's standing in darkness and there's no unit next to him. So that means he cannot attack. He cannot pull kill command. Otherwise, this would be way better, obviously. But here the correct move is to leave Akio standing where he is and just pull the kill command. I mean, I tested that for you guys with a lot of darkness runs. Yeah, I only did this for you. Not because I'm an idiot. Okay, and then obviously kill command, here's the attacks. And then after the attacks, Pendar can just shoot and deal some damage. Doesn't really matter if you move him. And then Aradel can move out and deal damage. And then Yasamin can come around. Dorga can only get closer. And that's the run. In the end, we got the same result as TheBroho. But again, if you look at this situation a bit more closely, this was incredibly lucky and I didn't even realize it at the time. Yeah. I think the correct solution is that in the turn before, we need to get Akio down already so he can attack from the other side. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But this is definitely a problem. This is definitely something we should be aware of. I guess you can get rid of that problem very easily if Yasamin buffs Dorga once or twice. If Yasamin buffs Dorga on the first turn, you don't have that problem, but then you're doing a little bit less damage against the dragon. Okay, either way, generally speaking, the strategy has potential. It has some pitfalls, it has some problems. At least it's not super stable at the moment. We hope that we can get there. If you have some input, obviously let us know. And yeah, hope this is helpful. Happy dragon hunting as always.